Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we will be starting a series for the game Overlord, not to be confused with, in 2015, a somewhat popular anime series called Overlord. If you came to see that, I'm sorry, but it's a general name, see no copyright next to it or anything, because you couldn't copyright that. They are coming out with a new game in the Overlord series, but it is not going to be completely like this play of the first game, I don't think, but it will definitely, by going through the series, you will see the original game. Then after we do this series, I am going to launch the Raising Hell DLC and show what's different there. I'm also, as we look at the settings, going to do the audio on this series a little one notch above halfway, trying something a little different, trying to get the volumes maybe a little bit better balanced. It's pretty difficult to get these to lock into notches because it doesn't show you, it doesn't play any sound when you move the sound up and down, and there's no real markers. But if you use the gamepad, which I am using, and hold the stick down, it will jump, but it's still pretty difficult. A lot of the video settings for this, for the Steam game, is actually a separate configuration file, oddly enough, so it's not built in. And then there is this weird split screen, which goes to show the age of this game, that it has split screen. And then take a moment, we won't be doing any split screen, I don't have anybody that I can be playing with as far as a local multiplayer. And take a look at how long it takes to load back into the menu. It has to load back into the main menu from there. And that's pretty long considering you just went from a menu to a menu. Fortunately, we're not going to have to deal with any of that. We're going to start Overlord now. We're going to see the beginning of the story. Here's our castle. There's the Overlord that we'll be playing as. Let us begin.
This one. Rub some acid in his eyes. That'll refresh him. Master, evilness truly suits you. Let us go forth. There are nefarious deeds to be done. I feel the land quaking with fear already.
So they start off by saying evilness truly suits us.
Minion Master, a devoted servant of darkness. The haziness will pass, and your muscles will become limber again. You have been... This cavern is the spawning pit, sire, where new minions are born and live. Now you are here, you can call forth minions from this minion gate.
So, pretty silly that they didn't give us enough area to walk through that area so you would finish a sentence before I came on to another cutscene. I want to say right at the beginning of this game, this is rated teen and it is cartoonish evilness. We are going to be doing silly evil things, not well, brutally killing. Well, we may be, it's all cartoonish in its evilness. It's like it's not gonna be super gory or graphic. It'll be fine. Just they are gonna play up for the evil aspect, and there's two ways you can go for this. You can go full uncorruption or full corruption, and I'm gonna try and go with full corruption. It would be really silly to play this game on the first playthrough at least and try to do all the good moral decisions for the few moral decisions that are here. So you play as the Overlord, but you mostly are going to be commanding minions. So left trigger on this and then hold B
Look
to
at
summon
those
them.
keen little evil faces, ready to loot and pillage at your command. Let us continue. Follow me if you wish to study the finer points of combat and minion control. Of course, if
He
you
does
want
an
to get
interesting
straight to the smiting,
kung fu
then
pose.
I shall meet you in the throne room upstairs.
Okay. I'm a little thrown off because
Your
you're
minions
moving
will
with the
follow
left
you
stick.
wherever you go, Master. Are you sure you don't need any lessons, Master?
Alright. So let's take a look here. Right now, you're shockingly low on buttons. Like the B button's doing nothing, the Y button's doing nothing, the A button swings the axe, and the X button does nothing. So only one button right now does anything, which really doesn't let you jump into it. You can see we have 3 health bars in the top left and 3 minions in the top right. And they apparently pulled us out of a coffin. So either I sleep in a coffin or I was dead. This is basically the same company that made Pikmin, and what happened is Nintendo didn't want to go with them for future Pikmin, I believe. I could be totally wrong about this. It's definitely the same game as Pikmin. Each one of these areas, by the way, is just a area that the different style of minions will live in. Where Pikmin's story was about finding these little plants and defeating little bugs, this is about finding minions and defeating humans. Let's do the finer points of combat here.
Being Overlord is more than just throwing a few fireballs and causing chaos.
I can use this tutorial.
Take skill,
I haven't played this
and
in many
maybe,
years.
Well, just a bit of mayhem. I think the Sleeping Beauty's a little rusty. Oh, our jester, sire. I really should have nailed him out for the crows long ago. Teach him to respect his Overlord.
So they delight in their cartoonish evil. They want me to hit the jester.
Stop!
There we go.
You're tickling!
He's making fun of me.
Good. Now hit him again. Don't hold back. See? It's all coming back now. Evil is not something you just forget. Come on, you metal!
So
You're giving evil a
I
good
keep trying to
name.
hit left and right on the right stick to move the camera,
Focus your energies,
and it's
Master,
not
and you can
doing
move
that.
it.
Interesting. Interesting. This game is so old that you can't even really move the camera.
That's it! Now you've got him!
So now you can lock on. We can hit A. Just beat on him some. If you press A multiple times.
Princess, you move like a dead badger! Shame you don't smell as good. He's out of your reach, sire. Use your minions to shut his flapping mouth. Oi, Tubbs! They should call you the Overlord!
So you left trigger and then right trigger.
You wouldn't know evil. Oh, it warms my black heart to see them running about the place, trying to rip each other apart.
See how the number changed from
Call
0
your
to
minions
3?
back, Master.
So now I have to call
All
my
of them.
minions back. Hold B to recall all, or tap
Mr.
to get one.
Overlord, show me some evil. If you need your minions to follow a complicated route, then you must sweep them through it.
So now the right stick is working, not to control the camera per se, but to control the minions. I understand why now the camera was working. So they're not letting you do things until you go through this tutorial. I guess you could skip the tutorial. Also, in the background is your tower, so this area and wherever you were buried is not under your tower. Unless that's some kind of magical thing.
Call that evil?
So
Overlord? Overrated, more like.
the
Don't let him get away, sire. Sweep your minions after him. Bet he'll whittle himself silly.
So we start over here again. They got recalled by default. And the camera's just gonna adjust the same.
I hurt! I think you're ready, Master. Accompany me to the throne room. Evil deeds won't do themselves. Feel free to beat him further if you wish.
So
Leave me alone, sire! I've got to heal!
so if we wanna do both, please don't kill me. Yes, kill him. We're going for
You're really, really evil! I get it, Lord! I get it! Surely you have better things to do than hit me all day.
so
Leave me alone, sire! I've got to heal!
he's getting flipped up. I don't think he's gonna die because I think the red next to it around the red ring around the number above his head would be going down.
You're really, really evil! I get it, Lord! I get it!
Yeah. So I think that proves the point.
You have better things to do than hit me all day.
Normally I play as the good guy in games, but this one it would be a real mistake not to play to this cartoonish evilness. And I could certainly see people
Your throne room,
not
sire.
liking that
Alas,
idea.
One cannot be a bastion of evil these days without wretched heroes lining up to prove themselves. That last lot were particularly bothersome, killing your predecessor like that. Still, you're here now, sire. Evil will always find a way. They also looted and destroyed much of the tower. But it's merely a setback for the forces of darkness, sire. You are our new Overlord. Rebuild your tower, punish those so-called heroes, and re-establish a dark domain. This is the tower portal, sire. Sadly, it's missing its power source, the tower heart. However, there's still a tiny bit of energy left. It's just enough to transport you to the last known location of the heart. When you're ready, sire, step through the gate. I shall meet you on the other side. Salutations!
So
Most wise master!
so depending on your choices, he will say different
Keeper of the ruined tower!
things about you. And you get this decoration of your tower, which is something you never get in Pikmin, oddly enough. So there is actually a slight improvement where you get this little tower piece that doesn't really matter. You go down here, that'll take you back to this section. We don't really need to summon minions and bring them back up to the tower, top of the tower though. Since there's a loading screen now, you could still very well assume that those aren't in the same area.
Master.
And there's, a handful of areas we're gonna go
The
to.
ruined tower.
This guy's in my way now. I have to kick him out of the way. And we're gonna repair our tower. And we're gonna go get items and bring them back. And that's very Pikmin-like. You try to find ways to grow your number of Pikmin and bring items back to your ship.
You made it through the gate, sire. This tranquil wilderness, so rural and idyllic. Hideous, is it not? Try not to inhale it, my lord. You can summon your minions from these gates. They are ancient arcane links between your tower and this land. Currently, you can only summon browns. You must find the other lost minion tribes before you can summon them. Perhaps we may recover some of our looted tower objects in this lush, verdant abomination. Your minions are waiting. They need only to be summoned.
So you can see here, this is exactly the same as Pikmin. You have basically your spaceship here and your 4 styles of minions. There you go.
Brown minions are your main fighters. These fluffy creatures barely know they're alive, but you can still harvest life force from them. Remember, life force equals minions. Return to the gate to call more to your side.
Move a pillar by sending 5 minions. So we can just left trigger them and send them out. And they will go kill the sheep. And then I have to walk over it to get the life energy.
Like this life force. They do not have the wit to do anything else, nor the pockets. You can absorb life force yourself, Master, by merely getting near it. Good, sire. All they do is chew grass.
They will pick up the life force and bring it to you.
You must build up your army, sire. Summon more minions at the gate.
So right now I have a max of 5. And I can't get those 3. Because to get those 3 would
Stupid, pointless creatures.
they would drown, basically. That's the problem there. I recall when I played this, you have to be a little bit careful about walking on the edges of things, because if you fall off, it might mess stuff up, but maybe not.
We have strength in numbers. Use all your minions on that pillar. They will work together to move it. Onward!
I really wish there was a way to swing the camera. Interesting.
Oh! Halflings took over my farm. Tied me up in the sun to scare the birds. Now, those pumpkins are plotting against poor Bob. They want revenge for all the pies I made. And the soup. And the jelly. And the, ice cream. I hear the pumpkins whispering at night. But I won't leave my farm to the halflings. Oh no, they're worse than the pumpkins. Please help get Bob's farm back. Oh. Your creatures ain't related to pumpkins, are they? Even the birds laugh at me.
So we've got this quest from a human, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Also notice that they have clubs.
They're scared.
They're going to get eventually upgraded to have better weapons.
Keep those squeaky things away from me. Your creatures ain't related to pumpkins, are they?
And they will destroy flowers, they will
Even
destroy
the birds
pumpkins.
laugh at me. They're in league with the pumpkins. Keep those squeaky things away from me.
Now we gotta go in there and destroy the building.
Well, I'd rather have a red farm than one smuggling a halfling. These aren't your normal tea-sipping cake. That showed him. Oh, you better get going, Sonny. The path beyond my house leads to the village of Spree. Oh, I bet there are more of them fat little demons about, so be careful.
Kill! Kill! Kill!
So there's actually quite a lot
Me?
here.
Well, I think I'll stay here. Fix me farm. Maybe grow marrows instead. Yeah,
I
marrows
cannot
don't talk
attack
so
this
much.
guy.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm trying to hit this guy, and I can't do it. So he must be story related. They've totally destroyed the building.
Your minions can access areas that are too small for your evil magnificence. Oh yeah.
So if you hold B, they all come back. It does a little horn thing.
Minions will automatically equip any useful items they find. And often, oh, any useless items too. But do not fear. Your weapons and armor are custom forged to the tower. We wouldn't dream of giving you any old steal-me-downs. No, no, no.
So they have like pumpkins on their head now. One of them has a metal helmet. They've gotten more powerful. Destroy these mushrooms just for the fun of it. Let's see.
See the cloud that rose from those dead halflings? That's evil energy. It gathers in all us evil creatures. You will learn more of it in time, Master.
Nice. So, little shortcut here that we're not gonna get to right now. Not without.
The tower heart. The halflings must have used it to grow pumpkins. The little fools. They have no idea of the real power it contains. Clear those pumpkins and let's get it back to the tower.
They're not really like showing a path of where you're supposed to go. Fortunately, none of the areas are super big.
Your minions will carry it for you, Master. Being the Overlord means never having to lift anything heavy. Taking position! Careful! Careful!
So they know automatically a shortcut to,
Ah! The minions have found a shortcut.
but to get to the shortcut they gotta put this down first. And then I have to send them all this way with the right trigger or the right stick. And then I can send them back here. It's a shame you really can't do Nintendo games on YouTube.
Moldy,
And-
keep up with the other minions. Giblet, I see you pretending to hold it with one claw. Hold your share, Gubbin, you useless sack of pus.
So that sounds like a silly thing. Of course, there's tons of Nintendo games on YouTube, but the thing is, they get they get taken down and they get those channels with copyright trouble. And I just have too many videos, and
The tower side.
I do this as an actual career. So sadly, no, I really couldn't play it. Also, I'm not really equipped to play Pikeman, because I'd have to find like a
You should return
GameCube
to
and
the tower side.
play it through that, and then have a device that could record from the GameCube to a computer. But I would definitely, if Nintendo changed its policy towards YouTube and its multiple automatic
return to the
content
tower.
IDs, they don't sit there and just find videos on YouTube with their stuff and say, take that down. They have it in the content ID system that automatically scans all videos.
Master, you should return to the
Yes,
tower.
we'll return to the tower, fine. But I would definitely like to play all the Pikemen. I don't think I've even played Pikeman 3. I played 1 and 2.
It is back where it belongs.
But I like
This
Overlord
is the
for
heart
its
of the tower, sire. It
its
will play a vital role in helping
improvements
re-establish your dark domain.
and its silliness. You don't get too many games where you
It
get
will
to
allow
play as
you
the
to
bad
visit
guy
the
in a
tower
silly way.
whenever you wish and provide access to all of the tower's resources. And look, it seems to have bestowed a little gift upon you, sire. You can now control 10 minions. Ha! And it seems to have retained one of its spells. The Fireball spell. Robust fellow. Might have known he'd make it. I'll teach you how to use him when the need arises. But I urge you, sire, find more of our missing tower objects. A crane would be particularly handy. Then we could clear the debris around here. Open up some rooms. Unfortunately, I am not the evil entity that I once was. I cannot take the feel of lush green grass under my feet and birdsong in my ears. In fact, I think I need to find a dark corner and something to pummel. I shall stay here. The heart will allow me to speak directly to you, sire, and see and hear what you do. Use the gate to return to the halfling domain.
So you can't kick him though,
Salutations!
interestingly enough. So, as you get upgrades, they will tower up on these three, and eventually this guy will is still in my way. Stay out of my way. Eventually all three of those should be at the top. That level that we just played, even though we're going back to the same area, couldn't really have been done any differently because the number of minions limited us from going any further. And we can look here and see our might. We have 10 browns in the tower. We have an attack of 0% for both ourselves and our minions. The minions is let's see, the yellow with the swords, and ourself is the red skull. They lose any items they pick up, I suppose, between levels. It is possible to do multiple things, but in the same run through, so you don't have to see.
1, 2. Is this thing working? It's a bit grubby.
Like,
Can you hear me, Master? Oh, there you are. And now, sire, the creatures around here are rather frisky, so they will have undoubtedly repopulated the area. Call forth some minions and head to that peasant village. Spree! Revolting name.
so it kind of gets a little bit repetitive here, but because you'll end up just to build up your ranks, killing these sheep over and over again, and particularly if you play really badly, and get your minions killed, because then if your minions are killed, let's see, you'll have to repopulate by doing that. In theory, I guess you could get to the point where you have only one left, and then if that last one died, you would have to manually sit there and kill the sheep with your own axe hitting A. But I don't believe there's a way you could just permanently lock yourself out.
That's mine.
So it's effectively the same. Yeah, they bundle up, they won't fall off the edges. You might be able to push them and sweep them into the water if you're really not careful about it, but the game is pretty easy. as far as this. There was no difficulty settings in this game whatsoever. So this gate's still down, and unless we could find a way to bring it down, it's gonna stay up. Which, boy, is that a useless statement to make. Obviously the gate is down and it will stay, well, the gate is up. Probably be helpful if I knew the difference between up and down. So really there's no reason to leave this area for a while.
Get ready.
Hang on, those ain't our flins. Look at the one with the helmet.
Could be two halflings holding up some armor. Yeah, I bet that's it. I don't trust those sneaky little what's names.
Maybe you're right. Here, prove you ain't our flins and free our men from the camps down the road.
If you are, stay right there so I can get my aim straight. Now that Lord Spree's gone, we're the last line of defense.
We let 'em in and they'll have us in one of those work camps before you can say tea.
There, in the field, greedy little halflings. Use your firebolt spell on the wheat and roast them like suckling pigs.
Alright. So now I can press X to cast a fireball and just burn the thing. That is certainly a nice ability. Is this guy dead? Yes, he is. We just burned down that area too. So we're gonna want to do a lot of burning things down. Just, if it can burn, burn it. I think I may have picked up some gold there too. But yeah, I can mostly don't need to go back through the loading screen. Let's see. There's a magical recharge. What is? Yeah, sweep them over to pick up another weapon. They, I think, automatically pick up better weapons if nobody else is missing it. So it doesn't seem like my magic recharges. Interesting. Yeah, I did pick up gold. I thought I heard that sound. So even if you manage to burn these guys, it helps to sweep them. And it also helps to jump in on the fight. Just manually swing your axe. These guys, even though the Browns are the best fighters, they are not super strong. And I can't. I can't burn like this, and I want to burn this.
Sire. Killing innocents, and I use the term loosely, increases your corruption level. This attracts more evil energy, which increases your powers. However, this is rarely suitable for establishing a long-term evil plan. That requires people, living people. Gratitude comes with its own rewards.
So, actually the system here, as far as moral systems, which I think for this particular game there shouldn't be a moral system at all, is a little bit flawed. You definitely want to kill people, but you have to left trigger them and do this. Now if you were going for a full not corruption, you wouldn't do this. So killing even one of those guys is has given me a small percentage in corruption. It doesn't really show unless it's that 3% in the lower left hand corner. That might be corruption. So there was an achievement on at least the 360. There may not be actually achievements for the Steam version, but I'm still going for the full corruption either way. If you hadn't killed people and kept them all happy, they would reward you a little bit.
This must be the work camp those peasants spoke of. Be careful, Lord.
But
This is an arcane blood pit, sire. You can sacrifice minions here to regain your own health.
so that's an interesting thing that's definitely not in
Die
Pikmin.
for you. They're very loyal.
They're very loyal. Throw one in there and you get life back. Interesting trade-off, particularly for the game. So we can summon another one here. We're up to 18. So both a way to regain your life and defeat people. What's cool about the concept of this game is that you can really have just a whole system of large fights with relatively smart AI. It's not completely idiotic. I am down to 8 now. The little yellow skulls you can see are my
Make sure
minions
you take a
that
full
die.
set of minions with you. Halflings might be short, but they're tough.
And they bring everything to you, or you can just walk over it.
I hear the bleating of lesser creatures, my lord.
So I need to go over here far enough to summon to get a lock on that to get my other guys back. And you don't get them back, you just replace them with some new guys. But they need to pick up weapons over here, get powerful. There is actual strategy here. It's not just always sweep your right stick towards the enemy and hope you have enough guys to win. But you can definitely see where 10 guys is not going to be enough. We're going to get into several boss fights and... Oh, darn. I'm hitting the wrong
Look,
button.
sire, a wheel. Your minions can turn these and, well, you never know what might happen.
So there's no real number that you need on the wheel. I could probably get it spun around with just one. But the more you put on it, the faster it goes. We are now heading into the slave camp. We're gonna go about an hour for each recording. Here's a waypoint in case we wanted to go back, and right next to here is a brown summon. You can see this is pretty early because only a brown is here right now, unless more would show up later. The slave camp has signs that just say obey, which is kind of silly. We'll just cut through this section and take on these guys. You want to overwhelm them. You want to have more of them.
Thank you, Lord. You should know that the camp up ahead is defended by rock throwers.
Really? That's good to know. So they will try to start fighting back if they see that you're killing them. eventually they'll stop even trying that. Let's see. Swing these guys over here. Get some more things. I'm really surprised that you have to actually get mana bottles. And then either they all have weapons now, or the one that doesn't have a weapon isn't picking that one up. That's over here and blinking. You will do a lot of that. Where you're just trying to sweep all of your creatures. It would be nice if they, in future versions of this game, which I hope they definitely do make future versions that play like this, because there is coming out a new version, but I think it's going to be more kind of like Diablo in its style and what you're doing. I would hope in future versions that they could pick up a weapon and take it to another guy. Or just one guy picks up a weapon and it just automatically goes to another guy if there's anybody on your team that needs it. For games like this, they're definitely, by the second game, you've done quite a lot. That's kind of the Pikmin 2 thought too, is that I'd like to see what they did in Pikmin 3 to really improve it. I mean, they can add different colors, certainly, but after a while there's just too many different people of different minions of different colors. So, not having any real trouble here. Just kind of grinding our guys upwards. I miss the fact that you can throw Pikmin. I kind of wish that was also here. Lost a couple of my guys.
Hey, help us out! There are more prisoners over there, but they've got a big old troll guarding them.
We'll help you slay the brute.
So instead of killing those guys immediately, let's let them die.
No sense in dying when there are others willing to do it for you. Fear and awe can be valuable commodities, sire.
So there's a gate over here that will probably be a quick exit. Skyrim style. We'll beat the boss and then the door will open up. I need another spawn thing. I think there's one right there behind these guys, so if we can make it through this group, it should be fun.
There are more prisoners over there, but they've got a big old troll guarding them.
Now you will hope that the one with the least attack would be the one that you just sacrificed there. I think that's true. It looked kind of like that was true. Gee, it's easier to sweep the guys and instead of walking up there yourself, because the camera moves in this weird swings. Alright. So first boss fight, and we're gonna get it in the first episode. I don't imagine this series is gonna go for super long. Gross.
Get it!
Seems like only one guy went after him.
Brother. Get us out of here!
Go ahead and kill these guys first.
Hurry! Hurry! I don't want to die in a cage! Kill! 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 Get it!
So we got a couple of the guys opening that thing, and then
Get us out of here!
we can just swipe these guys,
Hurry! Hurry!
and then he'll try and stomp
I
them.
don't want to die in a cage!
So the strategy here is you set him on him,
Kill!
and then when he was about to do his attack again, his body slam attack, you would have called him back. And I think that's pretty much the only strategy for now, at least. Let's see.
Kill! Kill! Kill!
So, gee, how do you open these other things? These guys are standing around, and then these are just kind of stuck here. Let's go ahead and get as much gold as possible. We will want to spend gold to upgrade things. But as far as releasing these, it doesn't seem like there is anything that can release them. Or that we're even supposed to care. They seem just happy to...
Our liberator! Hey, we don't need this screen anymore. You take it.
Well, it is ours, wretched creatures.
So, just
Quickly,
walking
sir.
through the
Have your
area.
minions bring it to the waypoint gate.
Yeah, open that, whatever that is.
Hurrah! We're free! Yay! Thank the gods! Come on!
Let's go to Spree.
No, I don't think so.
Treasure!
There we go.
For you!
So we gotta build up our troops. And there's no way we're gonna build up our troops if we let these humans live.
For the Overlord! That's mine!
So notice that there's one glistening weapon still there. I wish they'd stop dropping. There we go. So to get full corruption, now that I'm up to 8% corruption, it is probably gonna take like 400 peasants being killed. So we're not gonna hold back at all. We're gonna try real hard to kill them. And that's peasants only, not the ones that are blue or green when I select them. Again, that's not the ones that are red by default and aggressive like the halflings. The audio things could be a little repetitive. We're up to 183% on our attack. You can see these guys are getting weapons and armor that actually is making them better at fighting. And then I think we are done with this area. So we could, in theory, go back to the tower. There's not going to be anything really that is improved. Well, I mean, we could walk back to Spree and get in there too, but let's go back to the tower and look at the things and do some more tutorializing.
Now we have the crane, we can start to rebuild your tower, sire. That crane is just the job. Your minions are opening up the dungeon. Do go see it. It's so soothing. You can fight almost anything you like down there, providing you've already defeated it once. Hail!
So we've got like
Savior
guards
of the
now.
Tower Heart.
See, it says Savior of the Tower Heart because I saved the Tower Heart. And now everything's under construction. Man Mangler, because I killed the men. And now we've got the dungeon here. So,
If you're feeling in the mood to practice your combat skills, sire, then this is the place to do it. The tower can recreate many of the enemies you've conquered, so you can do them again at your leisure.
these guys are at 183. Once I can carry more, I'll start summoning some of my Warser minions, but it always picks my strongest ones first. So I said before that you would have to, if you killed all your minions, you would have to potentially go manually kill the kill sheep. Well, it's not exactly true. You can come to the dungeon here too. And let's say we wanted to go kill a bunch of halflings, which will get us some life.
Your minions, sire.
We can take our minions and ourselves in here.
Good evening, minions! Welcome to fight time!
I think this might also make your minions happier and do something.
Now, put your claws together.
Maybe get you
for
gold.
The Overlord.
Alright, so you can see a significant amount of minions of halflings here. There goes one. And looks like we lost 4 and we may have gotten 4. And then some more weapons that none of those guys can pick up. And that's pretty much it for the halflings. We could take out the trolls again. Notice my attack is now lower because I lost 4 of my good guys and I now have 4 of my lesser guys. So obviously it makes sense to take my lesser guys, sweep them over these weapons, and get potentially some improvement in their attack power. You might want to go do the sheep instead because even the halfling swordsman with 10, not super effective. Because you are fighting real people, you can't just summon sheep, which kind of sucks. Kind of sucks you can't just summon a dungeon full of sheep and fill it up right there. It would be
Welcome
real
to the
slow.
spawning pit, Master. The tower heart is not only the main source of your tower's power, but it also contains information on your minions. Touch it and see.
Let's see what it says. It tells you the number of spawned browns, the number that you've lost, your corruption level. So we now know for sure that that symbol is your corruption level, your gold. When we get blues, they will live there. This is where we came out, I believe. When we get reds, they will live here. When we get greens, they will live here. This is where the gesture was, and it doesn't seem like we can go back to that little mini area. Probably a waste.
Browns are the toughest of all the minions. They're never ones to shy away from a fight. In fact, it's quite difficult to get them to stop. Such is their dedication to the fight that browns can also use many different objects as weapons.
So maybe some of the other colors can't use as many items as weapons. I never noticed that, if that's the case. So if we grab 4 of these,
Taking position!
you can't sweep them in this area. I guess that's just kind of a demonstration of where they live, but it's not actually full of any guys. It would have been nice if they had bothered to actually put the guys there. So we've got 3 more colors. We've got a ton of other enhancements to spells, number of minions we can have. We want to find a mistress. That's our next quest. We have 2 quests. Visit the village of Spree, which we haven't accomplished yet, and
Savior of the tower
get a
heart.
mistress, which is a whole storyline. You can see here, of the things we've done, there are some neutral things, and it's important to make note of that. The ones that in the yellow circle with the green check mark are neutral things that we've accomplished when we're looking at our history. And then there are some corruption things. If you were going to try to play for the full uncorruption thing, which I probably won't bother to do because we have the DLC of this. Eventually I will play Overlord 2. I will eventually probably play Overlord 3 if there is an official 3. I'm not sure the newest game actually is going to be called 3 because it really doesn't, like I said, play the same way. But if you were going to play this twice, which I'm probably not going to, you would simply not do the things that cause corruption. So don't kill any peasants, so far as the only thing we've seen. And fortunately, that means we are in a very good position here. We have gone 58 minutes and 37 seconds according to my clock, and that is pretty much exactly where I want to be. So I'm going to wrap up this recording. I end all my recordings the same way. I ask you to like this video. I ask you to share it with your friends. I ask you to subscribe to my channel. I ask you to comment if you want to. And I ask you to watch every second of my videos, because all those things help me with YouTube. This is my only career. This is what I do all day, every day, basically, is critique and review games. And I hope you appreciate it, and I can certainly use the support. The other way you can support me is you can get to my main YouTube page. Usually I say you can get there by clicking on my name, Rydo, and that'll take you to my main YouTube page. If you're on YouTube Gaming, maybe it wouldn't, but if you're on YouTube proper, it should. And on my main YouTube page, on the right, is a blue button that says support this channel. That's not an ad. That's an actual donation button that I would very much appreciate if you donate any amount, because even $1 helps me when Steam sales come around. Have gotten a lot of games for about $1. So one more game means one more series, means more videos for people to watch. The other thing I ask people to do is from my main YouTube page, click on that playlist tab and see all the other games I've covered. I have covered a lot. Probably over 1,500 by now videos have been recorded in less than 1 year. Yeah. So I do a lot of different games. I plan to do a lot more different games as I keep going. And so go check some of those out and watch those series too. And then the last thing I ask, and I usually say it more succinctly than I say it the first time, is I ask you to follow me on social media sites because that helps me with those sites and it helps you see when new videos come out. New videos come out at this Monday through Friday, and whenever this is released, tomorrow it will be released at the same time. So you should know somewhat close to this. I have different time slots, and I'm not sure which time slot I'll put this series in, but it will be the same time every day unless I just really screw up the scheduling. Uh, so down below in the description, I have all my social media sites like Google Plus, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. There's also a link to friend me on Steam and friend me on battle.net. If there's any other social media sites you want me to be on, let me know in the comments and I will definitely consider it. And that is about it. So I always wrap up by saying thank you for watching. Have a good evening.